Welcome back to another episode of Our Community. I'm your host, local realtor, entrepreneur Alfredo Diamond. It's a pleasure to have you all here listening in. I've got a special guest today, Miss Marlene Lindsey, the Black Legacy Project of Wayne County. Welcome, Marlene.
Thank you. I'm glad that you are having me today.
Oh, of course, and it's a pleasure to have you here. I'm so excited. I want to learn more about what you do, why you do it, and just get the word out about this great project that you have. So just a little bit, just talk about yourself. Well, where are you from, Marlene?
I'm from Richmond.
Okay.
And growing up in Richmond, it's like I got to leave here because nothing's here. You know, what am I going to do? So I left and went to Indianapolis, but I came back.
Okay.
Then I was here for a while, and it's like, okay, there's nothing here. So I went to Dallas for a while. Mm-hmm. Then I came back.
Okay.
Then I went to California for a while, and then I came back. So now that I'm back, it's like I did find that the place doesn't make you or make things happen. You have to make it happen. So just because I was in Indianapolis, just because I was in Dallas, just because I was in California, I didn't get what I was looking for in Richmond. But I came back, and I'm enjoying being here.
Yeah. It's pretty cool you say that, because I'm 43 years old. I've been in Richmond my entire life. And sometimes I'm thinking, like, did I miss out on anything by not leaving? I really enjoy it here, and I try to make the best of it. But listening to your story, it's kind of like, you know, if I go there, if it doesn't work, come back. So what brings you back to Richmond?
Family. And then I came back for family. And then as far as the Black Legacy Project, I had, when George Floyd got killed, there were a lot of Zoom calls in Richmond. And on those Zoom calls, trying to see what you can do, or you know, where the country's headed or whatever. We were talking about Richmond, and I had mentioned that, well, when I was coming up in the 70s, you could only go to the skate on Tuesday night.
Okay.
So a lot of people were shocked about that. We had a segregated firehouse up until 1966.
Wow.
People were surprised about that. So Carl Reinhardt wanted to do more research on the Black Fire Department and that, because how could it be segregated up till 1966?
Wow.
So we went to the library, and we were, you know, doing research, and it said, as C.R. Richardson, the Black attorney, stated in the Richmond Blade, the all-black Richmond newspaper. And I thought, what?
So there's an all-black newspaper too?
Richmond had an all-black newspaper called the Richmond Blade. C.R. Richardson was the editor.
Oh, wow.
So in doing that, then I really got, you know, okay, I want to dig deeper. On what's going on. So, he was the editor. It was from 1918 to 1920. It only lasted a couple years, but still for Richmond, Indiana, to have an all-black newspaper. I had went to, we had the specialty record store downtown, and everybody visited the record store, and John Bryant worked there, and everybody knew John. And so I got set up an interview with him on his porch. And so I sit and talk. This is when it started, the Black Legacy. So I sit and talk to him about, you know, his experience there and how it got started. The Kellys and the Basses started it in 1940 in their house, and then
The Black Legacy Project?
They started the specialty record store.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So that, and then, so I ended up the interview with him, and a couple days later he said, Marlene, I got something for you. So I went over, and he had a bag that you put the 45 record in.
Okay.
From 1960 or, you know, back then. I was so excited. I ran it over to the Wayne County Historical Museum. And when I went in to show them, you know, look, I got the bag and this will be great. And I looked around the museum and nobody looked like me. I hadn't been in the museum for quite a while, but, Louis Armstrong may have been the only one that I seen that looked like me.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, I listened to Sirius XM, and Joe Madison would say, well, what are you going to do about it?
Wow.
And that just kept ringing in my head. What are you going to do about it if Louis Armstrong's the only one that you see here? So that's when I started doing research and calling people. And one, Mary Jo Flood, her mother had 4 albums of newspaper clippings, and I'd go through and read those clippings, and the stuff that I found out, and I, put it together, and I ended up with 2 manuals, large manuals full, and I called a meeting with the museum, and I went and I had a meeting with them. Well, they had one folder about maybe an inch thick, if that much, and they looked at everything that I had, and they said, you have more than us. Would you consider being our signature event in 2023?
Wow.
So with that, then I, really got started, and I made phone calls, and, people that I knew, and then did you know my uncle did this or my father did that?
Yeah.
And just by word of mouth. So that's how it started, when in my mind, what are you going to do about it?
So that's an example of, not just taking things for what they are and just stepping in and trying to make a difference.
Yes.
Couple things there. One, I remember when you first got started getting going and running into you at different nonprofit fundraisers and things like that. And you would have all this stuff on your table, these artifacts and these articles. And I would just look at it in awe, like being a Black man in this community and being an entrepreneur, never thinking I ever would make it, and being told I wouldn't make it. And seeing these people that were before me that I did not really know were in business was very eye-opening, motivating, and inspiring to me. So what you're doing is very positive, and I love that you have taken the initiative to preserve our legacy. So I remember pointing out things to you like, oh, what about my cousin? He's a barber downtown. Or, a basketball player, Desmond Bain, or whoever, to see other people that just kind of give you some ideas and things to follow up on. So it's just, I never forgot sharing that moment with you, and looking from where you were then to where you're taking the program now is amazing.
Thank you. In my heart, I felt that I kept leaving Richmond because, again, I had no sense of pride. There wasn't a sense of pride in being from Richmond,
Really?
Like that.
Why did you feel like that?
Because I didn't know our history.
Yeah.
There's nothing in Richmond. Nobody from Richmond did anything. And I wanted to bring a sense of pride to our youth.
Yeah.
So that they would realize you can be something, you can go somewhere. Right. We have made many accomplishments and contributions, not just in Richmond, but to the whole country.
Yeah.
I mean, the places that we've gone. So I was able to put up we were able to install 2 bulletin boards at Star School of us. And the kids were going through, we were doing the last one in the hallway, and the kids were going through to lunch. And pretty soon this little girl, she must have been in the 1st grade, come back dragging the teacher. She pointed up and she said, "That's my uncle."
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was almost in tears because that's what,
that's your goal.
as many times she went up and down the hallway. I mean, you see people, but to see somebody that means something to you, and that's exactly, I want to give the kids a sense of pride.
And not letting people being forgot about.
Exactly.
So talk about, when you went into the museum, why do you think that was? There wasn't a lot of pieces and information in there, pictures that look like you.
It was a culture. Mm-hmm. I've talked to the ladies that are at the museum now, and that helped spearhead the 2023 signature event. The culture before them was they weren't interested in our accomplishments. We were overlooked, but it's been so rewarding because they'll call me, "Marlene, guess what I found?"
Oh yeah.
That they're going through their archives or their storage, and getting things out. And to me, because of Black Legacy, a name rings a bell, and now they're excited, and now they're going to display it.
So what do you want people to? Do you want people to help? Like, do you want a bunch of people reaching out to you, like, "Hey, Marlene, I've got this. You need to check this out." I mean, is that how the process is, or do you want people doing that? I mean, how do you collect pieces and information? And what if someone has some information to get to you? What should they do?
Absolutely. The Black Legacy Project, we are, yes, absolutely. I want them to contact me.
Okay.
And there's people that I didn't know. I just found out that Vincent Allen was a pro football player for the Chicago Browns.
Chicago Bears.
I'm sorry. Chicago Bears. I didn't know that, but we'd always just go
he's a friend
Vegas.
Of mine.
Is he?
Yeah.
You just go Vegas and Lamar Lundy. Mm-hmm. And then I found out. So by word of mouth.
Oh, yeah.
That's how we find out. And we got to get it now because we're getting older.
Yeah.
Before that is totally lost. So, yes, reach out to me.
Shout out Vincent Allen. And you're talking to him, like I say, he's a friend of mine, a friend of our families. And I actually just talked to him yesterday. He called me. But he had a short tenure in the NFL, but he tells me these stories, and it's just fascinating listening to it. But he was actually at one point back up to Walter Payton.
I know.
So yeah.
And he's not a great big guy.
He's fast. He would Vincent will tell you how fast he was. He wasn't, but he was fast and strong. So,
but see, I didn't know that. So by people reaching out, did you know? So then I put it on my board, and then I reach out to them.
Yeah.
And because I'm at the opening event last June 2022, the museum had close to 500 people come to our opening event. And they came from Georgia, Florida, California, Nevada, Ohio. Wow. I mean, they came from all over, but I was busy, trying to get the word out, but they were so excited, and there was such a sense of pride. Mm-hmm. So we are having the closing event on Saturday, June the 1st.
Saturday, June 1st.
It's closing in its entirety. There'll be some pieces left there still, but the actual whole exhibit is going to be coming out. So we are looking for a brick and mortar. We're working on trying to get on a website because I want the kids and adults to be able to, go to our website and put in attorneys. And then it would just come up with the list of attorneys that were from Richmond or in Richmond. Because when you go to the library or search something, you generally need a name.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know them. The kids wouldn't know them. Right. But when you go to Black Legacy website, you'll be able to just put in, we had attorney, we had actors, the musicians. I mean, it is absolutely amazing. So I get so excited about it. But I can tell that's what we're doing.
And so you're looking at moving the exhibits and information pictures over to a brick and mortar?
Yes.
Okay. How's that going?
Slow, but methodical. I don't want to just jump into something. I want to make sure that it's going to be, sustained, and we're going to. And I have to say that Marlene Lindsey didn't do this. God did this because I couldn't. The people that he puts in front of me and the things that, it's just like, that is amazing.
Yeah.
But it's all him. So I'm just kind of waiting till the right place comes up. I just don't want to jump, but we are looking into that. We're doing our fundraisers. We're going to have our second annual golf outing on June the 22nd out at Elks Country Club. And Janelle Ross is our guest, and we're going to highlight her because she did phenomenal in all of her accomplishments.
Is that the Ross from the auto dealer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Janelle Ross from the auto, and her father, Bob Ross, started, Bob Ross Buick, and then she took it over.
Yes. It's just amazing seeing where you come from, starting this to now. Like I was telling you earlier, I've watched you. I mean, you got wonderful Facebook page. You're talking about a website. And then, I hear that you have a board of directors now and everything.
Yes, we do. We have a board of directors, and they are doing wonderful, awesome work. I've, got some people in position now that are I'm just excited.
Make sure I've got that invite to the golf outing. I'd like to check, see if I can attend that. So I'd like to be there.
Absolutely.
So let's back up a little bit, Miss Lindsey. So, you kind of bounced around back and forth to Richmond. You went back home, right?
Yes.
You're back home.
Yes.
And then, you had, then you had this project that you kind of fell into.
Yes.
And were passionate about, but there was a major need for it. So what in between there, like what's your background like? Where'd you go to? Did you go to college? What brought you to here?
What brought me to here? I'm in customer service.
Okay.
And I like helping.
Okay.
I was worked at FedEx for 10 years, and then I worked at Wolverine Worldwide for 23 years. I'm retired.
Okay.
Been retired almost 5 years now. But it was customer service, helping people, and then I don't like to sit still, so I retired. And then it's like, okay, what am I going to do? And then this happened, so I just went. I love it.
Yeah, I could tell. So, are there any are there any individuals you're working on that you would like more information on? There's an opportunity for you to say, hey, folks, I need some help with this one here. Is there anybody, or there's several that you would like more information on?
There's several that probably I don't even know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like Ken Chrisman. I got to get him. I got to get Teray Conley. I didn't know he'd been in Richmond for 20 or 30 years. Yeah. Uh-huh. I did. So it's people like that are making a difference.
Yeah.
Curtis Wright. They're busy, but I need to get your information because it needs to be in the project. The thing is, it is a living, breathing project. It's not going to end because today we're making history.
Yeah.
We're a legacy. We're doing it now. So the kids need to know that you could do a podcast, that you can have your own real estate business and whatever you do. So I need your information so that it can all go in there and we can encourage the people of Richmond.
And keep sharing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because if it's not written anywhere, my goal is to make Black History not Black History Month, but Black History 24/7, or from
everything.
January the 1st to December the 31st, not just in February.
Month, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So ideally, this brick and mortar location you like to have, ideally, where would you like that to be?
Downtown.
Downtown?
Yeah.
Why downtown?
I feel like Richmond is going to get revitalized, and downtown is the main thing where people would come down and walk and, go in and look. The parking may not be fantastic down here, but I think all that's going to get worked out as well.
Yeah. So with your nonprofit, and are people aware that you are interested in doing this? Like, I believe there's funds available. You want to be downtown. I mean, are people aware? Just want to make sure putting you out here.
Yeah. I think they're aware.
Okay.
Because I have mentioned it before that, my goal is to get a brick and mortar because, bless their hearts, it's coming out in June, and people have approached me. Marlene, I'm having a family reunion in July, and I'm taking them to see your exhibit.
Yeah.
Well, portions of it may be there, but not in its entirety.
Okay.
And I didn't have room to put everything in there, so I would like to have a place where things could be rotated in and out, new people put up, a place where you could come and see it. And you can't think small because God does big things.
Yeah.
So, I'm thinking big in a brick and mortar where it could be changed out.
Is there anyone that if you could have, like, maybe you don't have the information for an individual, is there anyone that you do not have the information for that you are just passionate about? You've got to get this person up there. Who would it be?
In my exhibit?
Yes.
Alfredo Diamond.
Alfredo Diamond?
There you go.
Why? Me? Why me?
Because you're doing things.
Yeah.
And nobody's more important than the other person. Mm-hmm. So, yes, I need you. I need Vincent Allen. I need Ken Chrisman. I need somebody that I don't even know of yet.
I have all those connections.
Okay, well, I need them.
Okay.
Because I need them, yes.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, that's exciting, and I'll do my best to get you hooked up here. So, when you talk about being downtown, you know, what makes you want to be downtown? Totally. I mean, just because of for me, I want to see downtown come back from the nostalgia from my childhood. Everyone was there. People got along. You didn't hear about all this crime and stuff like that. Like right. It was a positive place, and you just come downtown, you see the tall buildings. Like, what about it for you that you want this legacy project to be downtown in a museum?
I think downtown is, in any small town, downtown, Main Street is the place, and then everything spurs out from there. And it's a central location. From the north side to the south side, it's central.
Are there is there one particular business that you miss being in Richmond that you would love to see come back?
I can't think of one offhand, because if it's not here, I jump in the car and drive to it.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Because I'm getting worried that more and more things are going online, and I'd like to touch and feel it and see it and look at it before I make that final decision. And so many things are getting more online, or you don't have it. And I just hope that they can revitalize downtown Main Street, Richmond, where you can go in and shop and, you know.
You got to try it before you buy it.
Yes, absolutely.
Marlene, is there one particular person that you would like to work with that you haven't had a chance to collaborate with yet? Who would it be?
That's a hard question.
You already used me, so.
I can't use you. Oh, God.
You mentioned a few, Dr. Curtis Wright.
Yes.
Ken Chrisman.
I can't wait to I'm supposed to be having a meeting with Ken Chrisman here in the next couple of weeks, and I can't wait to talk to him because he's so grounded, he's so knowledgeable, grounded in God, and I just can't wait to talk with him.
I'm excited to help you. I mean, it's just I don't know if maybe you do know this, but there's a lot of people that would love to share their story, and they feel like no one's reached out to them. That's kind of why I started this podcast, not just for Black people, but for everyone. Because I have an entrepreneur spirit. I was scared to death to jump out and start my own business, but deep down, it's what I wanted to do.
Right.
But I just needed the confidence, the examples. So I've been in interviews where people cried on me. They had gotten walked out. They thanked me. No one's ever came and captured my story. And there are people just like this that can benefit from this project to get their story out. You've done some interviews too, right?
Yes.
Talk about some of the interviews a couple of interviews you've had already. One was the fire station. Did you have a segment on that? Maybe for Townsend Center or something like that?
Not yet. I've been on In Focus with Eric Marsh and Beyond the Church Doors with Reverend Martell Winburn.
Okay.
I have also been on, I forget her name. She does nonprofits.
Angela?
Yeah.
Coffee?
No, Brinkman.
Okay.
I can't think of it. I'm sorry.
That's
I can't
right.
think of it right
now. No problem.
Plus, I've been just overwhelmed that I've spoke in front of the Kiwanis, in front of the Golden Kiwanis, in front of the Rotary Club, in front of the tourist club. I did lunch and learn at Ivy Tech. I spoke at Earlham. I mean, wow. All those people that are interested and excited to hear about the Black legacy and the accomplishments and achievements of the Black people from Richmond.
Well, you have a great story. I appreciate you coming and sharing today. I'll do whatever I can to help support you. I'll get you connected with those individuals and anyone else I can think of. You've got a couple events coming up. You've got the golf outing.
Yes.
And that is on June
22nd.
June 22nd.
Yes.
At the Elks Country Club.
Yes.
And then you have another event you wanted to shout out.
That is our closing celebration on Saturday, June the 1st from noon to 4. And then we are going to have a panel discussion speaking about the future of Black legacy, where people want to see that go. And so that will be at 1 there at the museum, so that you can get one final look at the project in its entirety. Okay.
And if I want to send you any information or reach out to you, how do I do that?
That is, my number's 765-969-0673, or blacklegacyWayneCO@gmail.com.
You heard it. Support the Black Legacy Project. It's been a pleasure having Miss Marlene here. I appreciate you being here, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you.